Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Buffalo Bills Pat Carosa podcast. This is me, Pat Carosa, as I talk about anything about the Buffalo Bills under the sun, which I am excited for because the mini camps ended, which means the Bills are going to start preparing for the 2023 season, and in a month, they are going to start training camp, which is amazing. Hopefully, I can make it out to training camp this year. We all know what happened last year with all the tickets. It sold out like the Taylor Swift concert, so I couldn't get into one. But hopefully this year I can get into the training camp and see them practice. So hopefully I can do that. But before I get into talk about the Bills' offense for the 2023 NFL season, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and you'll get awesome Bills content throughout the year. So what do I think about the Buffalo Bills, and especially that offense? We're going to talk about offense right now. So what do I think about their offense? Well, I think there's two critical components at play right now. Let's start with Josh Allen. I think he's going to have a really good season right now. I think he's focused on football. That's where it should be, and I think he's really going to go off. I think he has the talent around him. He has an improved offensive line. Connor McGovern, Cyrus Torrance, and David Andrews, David Shell too. They signed a lot of offensive linemen this offseason to help protect Josh Allen better, because if Josh Allen has time, he'll just pick those defenses apart. So I think that's going to be really critical for the Bills this year. The big thing for Josh Allen is to limit those turnovers. He really put the ball on the ground a lot last season. You can blame the injury. You can blame Ken Dorsey, who I will get to in a minute, but he really needs to calm down on his turnovers, take what the defense gives you, and run the offense that way. And he's Josh Allen. He's going to make some boneheaded plays, but he's also going to make some amazing plays as well, just like last season. So, overall, I think he's going to have a good season. And, I think he's really going to explode, this season. Have similar numbers. Hopefully, put those turnovers down. I think that's the biggest key for Josh Allen this season. Limit the turnovers. Have less than 10 interceptions. That's his goal for this year. Have less than 10 interceptions and not fumble as much. That's the key for Josh Allen this season. And if he does that, I think he's going to really have a Pro Bowl, All Pro season, and could lead the Bills to a Super Bowl. So I think that's the case. So you have Josh Allen, but then what's around him? Obviously, I talked about the offensive line. I think they're going to be better. I really do believe so. I really like that Connor McGovern signing that they had from the Dallas Cowboys. I think he'll really make a big difference in the middle of that offensive line and help protect Josh Allen. And I mean, you have Osiris Torrance, Spencer Brown, who hopefully will be better. I think he was coming off an injury from the previous season, so if he's healthy, that's great. That's really great. So I think the offensive line will be better. Their running game will improve. I think there will be more holds open for running backs. So I think that's the biggest difference you will see in the offense this season. So you hope the offensive line is better, which they need to be. I think Josh Allen really masked a lot of the offensive line deficiencies, and that's one of the reasons why they lost in that Cincinnati game, is because they just didn't have a good enough offensive line. So, I think the offensive line key is better running game, better opening up holes, opening up those gaps and protecting Josh Allen. That's the big key. Protecting Josh Allen this season. That's the key. And then running back wise is will be really interesting. You have James Cook as the feature running back right now. I'm hoping they include him in the offense a little bit more, passing the ball. That's what he came in to the draft, and that's what the Bills wanted. And it just didn't happen last season. So hopefully they can create plays and different alignments so that James Cook can really be good catching and running the football. I think he's a good player. I really do. I was impressed by him last season. I really think he came along the last half of the season. He was really impressive. 6 yards per carry last year. So that number should hopefully stay throughout the season. So James Cook should be the feature back. Hopefully, the Bills have that good running back in place. Devin Singletary was solid, but just not dynamic. And not a lot of teams were afraid of him. But I think you should be afraid of James Cook. I really do think he's going to explode on the scene this year. And then you have that Harris guy from the Patriots. Yeah, I forgot his name, but he I think he's going to be a good goal line back. I really do. You have Latavius Murray, you have Harris, and those three backs should help the Bills. Now you still have Nyheim Hines, and I think it's Cook, uh, Hines, Harris. I think those are the top three running backs. Right now, I think Murray will be that practice squad inactive guy. If someone gets injured, he'll come in. But overall, um, they should share the load. Hines and Harris should be goal line backs or short yards backs so that they can push that forward. So, I like their running back room right now. And then we get to the receivers, and it should be really interesting. Obviously, you have Stephon Diggs. Yes, he showed up to minicamp, and maybe he's angry, but hey, he's a Bill, and I think he's going to have another great season. He's a great receiver, great route runner, and I think him and Josh Allen still have that connection, and he should be really good. And then you have Gabe Davis, and I know a lot of fans want to give up on him, but I'm not one of them. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I truly believe it. He's a great receiver, great hands. If he can just he needs to limit the drop balls. That's what killed him last season. If he can limit that, then I think he's going to be a really good receiver. And I know he was injured, and I know, like I said, he dropped a lot of balls. But at the same time, I think he's going to have a really good season. He has a good connection with Josh Allen. So I don't know. I think he's going to have a great season. And then you have this Hardy guy in the Sherfield, and they could be critical players coming up. So you have that. You have Khalil Shakir. Both good slot receivers. The problem is the Bills don't have. The Bills don't have they have a good number one, number two, but they just don't have 3 through 6, and that's going to be tough. But my view is Josh Allen will make those receivers better, and that's what the great quarterbacks do. Think of Tom Brady. You can't, except Randy Moss, you can't think of any other running backs or receivers. So, um, so that Tom Brady played with that was really great, top of the league. So hey, Josh Allen the same way, he will make those receivers better. And then for tight ends, you have Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox could be a really good, potent number one and number two. It's going to be interesting with Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. How they're going to share the load. I think Dawson Knox will be that down the field threat. Dalton Kincaid will be that short yardage, intermediate route receiver who will catch every ball going his way. He will replace Cole Beasley in that scenario. And I think that's what the Bills were missing last season is that player. So, so I think Dalton Kincaid will be involved in the offense right away, right from the start. So, all of the offense looked great. I think the offense looks really, really good, and I think they should be top the league again this season, especially with Josh Allen. The key component here is Ken Dorsey. Can he scheme up plays that makes Dalton Kincaid open, that shares the load with Stephon Diggs, that truly that helps the Bills offense take another step because they did falter a little bit down the stretch last season. They just couldn't audibilize or change to what the defenses were giving to them last season. So, it's going to be interesting. Ken Dorsey's second year, so we'll see where it goes. But they need to Ken Dorsey needs to, just scheme players open and keep that offense on track. So I think the offense looks really good. In the next video, I'll talk about the defense. But remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope all of you have a good day. Go Bills!